Hello everyone. So we got another fun little video here today, just another discussion. I'm currently uploading some stuff, some other YouTube videos. We were talking about the real estate agents and the listings and the agents commission. I thought those were fun discussions, so look forward to those coming soon. Today is I saw this post, and I think this is a really interesting question. Another interesting question. I don't know if I find it as interesting as that listing agent commissions, but he had this real estate agent, and this is his photo right here that he delivered. And I guess what happened is, you know, let's just get into what happens when you deliver your photos. So the real estate agent immediately goes to the homeowner, right? I mean, in most cases, they're probably not just going to upload the photos right away. In some cases, they might. So that would be nice, actually. They just upload the photos. But in a lot of these cases, they're going to go to the homeowner and they're sort of going to discuss the photos and which ones they liked and which ones. And this is a big, I feel like a big problem in real estate photography, and I feel like it's a big source of many of our problems with realtors and quote unquote not liking the photos, because they don't really want to tell you their client doesn't like the photos, right? Because that sort of falls on them, you see. So they won't tell you that, I'd say 90% of the time, and I think they're very wise not to tell you that. I mean, if their client doesn't like the photos, then well, that's up to them. That's up to the real estate agent to, maybe they have a sort of a picky client. That's their problem, right? That's not really our problem. So a lot of times the way that'll work is the agent will act like they're the ones who are not really satisfied. And this is, maybe this is partly guesswork. I can't read their minds, but I mean, that's what I'm guessing was happening. I mean, it's educated guess, all right? And so anyway, the homeowner and the agent got together and looked at these, and they decided that they didn't like them, and that allegedly they weren't wide enough. And then this is what they came up with. And so you can see that photo, and this is actually what they use supposedly. And now all of us sort of laugh when we see this, but I think it's a serious topic, so I don't laugh, I don't think it's funny. Like, what's going on here is you got to understand how insane people are. All right, that's like they're completely insane. They don't have any clue what they're doing. It would be like a like say a soccer player trying to I don't know, engineer something for space exploration, right? They don't know what they're doing, so they're going to make tons of mistakes. So that's sort of their problem. But the point I want to make here is you don't really want to get involved in this madness. You want to deliver your photos and get paid and be done with it. Because look, it's crazy people. You don't want to go out on the streets of Los Angeles and there's a crazy person, right? And try and understand why he's poor guy. We all understand, but we don't really need to understand all that, right? And I go through this with my wife sometimes too, like, because there would be a crazy person, like we take a bus and there would be a crazy person on the bus, and there's just crazy people out there. So you can't there's nothing you can do about it. All right, it's just like there's people gonna make bad decisions. Don't make it part of your life. Don't let it affect you. So what I tell people, and I swear, if you just scan through Facebook and you look at like 20% of the problems that would be solved if they just did what I said, I swear to God, just don't look at the listing photos. I've said this for years and years and years. Just don't look at the listing photos. This guy's whole problem would be solved. He has his check. Everything's fine. He wouldn't even have to think about it, all right? Just don't look at him, all right? That's it. It's a problem solved. I think that's the end of the video. But I've been really ranting. I've done 3 videos on this topic, and I'm going to upload them all. And I thought I was going to conclude there with the 3, but I just wanted to sort of expand this topic because we've been talking about picking photos and agents and homeowners and we've also had these blogs you haven't seen yet. 2 of them aren't uploaded yet about agents and their commissions and how I feel. I basically concluded. I want you to watch the videos, but I basically concluded Agents don't do their job, and they don't deserve their commission most of the time. Not all the time, most of the time. And this, I mean, I just searched 30 seconds on Zillow. Look, what is this? What is this? What is that thing right there? What is it? Is this? Are people doing their job here? So you might say, well, that's an extreme example. You know, maybe. And I mean, all the points I talked about, look at this photo. Look at how big is it? You know, this is as big as I can get it, right? If I click on it, that's it. So what is going on here? This is like archaic systems. And I addressed all this in that last, those last videos. That's why I want you guys to watch them. I addressed it all. How are these archaic? Look at this photo. Look at this presentation. Look at this. Look at how big. I mean, it's just completely insane. I mean, I don't understand how anybody in their right mind could not agree with me. Like, I'll leave the talking to those 2 videos, the last ones I did. I'll try and put them up because some of you are maybe interested now, so I'll try and put them up sooner. But yeah, this just doesn't exist in a world where there's competition and the best company wins out. This doesn't exist in a world like that, okay? It doesn't. This presentation doesn't exist in a world where there's competition and the best one wins out. There's no way, okay? Look at this. That is a wedding dress that has charcoal and coal and urine on it, all right? This obviously, and again, my conclusions in the other video, is it's just a real estate industry that's sort of controlled by a few people, and they've just kept things the way it is, and they're in control, and there's cartels, mafias, whatever you want to call them. I mean, that's maybe a strong word, but that's how I see things, all right? It's obviously just being run by people who don't want to change, and it's sort of, I mean, it's obvious. It's obvious. I just want to show you guys it's obvious, okay? I mean, it's so true. And so I wanted to sort of take what we've been looking at here, because you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. I mean, this is what a homeowner would see right here if they were trying to buy this home. Let's jump over to Fantastic Frank. Okay, let's just jump over there. And you notice the first thing you see is sort of, even their website design is sort of nice. You know, they sort of have this back, what do you call that, translucent, one of their home run photos there, right? And they've sort of done this nice thing. And look at this. It's a nicely sized photo, and they've made it so that you can scroll through and see sort of thumbnails. And I would call them really strategically sized thumbnails, where even on a phone, these are going to be a nice size. And then look, I can click on it. There's no weird, funky 1980s logo at the bottom. This is, you know, it's functional. Everything's very nice, right? Everything's nice. And look at the styling, right? And I wanted to compare this because this was sort of a Fantastic Frank version of an empty unit, right? An empty unit, what they've done. And how much money have they spent here? You know, $50? How much money have they spent to do this? They brought in a chair, you know, they brought in some books. You know, they have this, I guarantee this company has this stuff laying around. And they sort of didn't go all out on this one for whatever reason. You know, they might make these certain strategic decisions like, oh, this house is going to go. We're going to do our like 25% job on this one. You know, this one's going to, you know, that I'm sure they make decisions like this, or that the quickness they want to sell it. Anyway, they've spent, I mean, I joke that they had to pay the stylist and stuff, but they spent, you know, $50 on the stuff for the styling in here. And look, they did a good job with that $50. It went a long way, okay? So I just want to give you a sort of contrast between these two models where they didn't have anything to work with here, and yet look what they're able to do. Look at this. Look at I don't know. I mean, I don't know. So anyway, I wanted to keep going because I love this topic so much. Who knows? I might have a whole like season of topics like this. This is a staged home, and you know, keep it in mind. You know, that point I'm making. You guys are seeing what I'm seeing. That's the aspect ratio and the size. The size. You know, this might be like 800 pixels or something. The size and everything. This is a staged home. Okay, this is $1 million home. I picked $1 million homes when I went in there. $1 million home. And this is a very typical staged home in the U.S. All right, very, very typical. You know, I can tell it's staged right away. I can just tell. I don't know, because the look. I mean, the look. It's just, it's weird. It's all the same staging. It's so weird to me. It's all the same. I don't know. It just looks the same. It looks exactly the same. Um, it's very expensive to stage these homes is one thing, and um, I just feel like there's some, like I'm saying, cartel staging people, whatever. You know, I really want you to watch the. I got my points across better in those last videos, but let's jump over now. We just saw staged home, right? You can see how the presentation and everything. This 800 pixel photo, whatever. All right. Now we looked at this in one of the other videos. This is staged home. This is staged home. They came in. They had some stylists do this. All right. This is staged home. So let's jump back. I don't know if you. I don't know. Maybe the photography and everything just sort of coming together here, in my opinion, anyway. All right. So hopefully you can see what I'm talking about there, just in terms of the differences. You know, they staged something. They actually paid a lot of money for this staging. It's really expensive to stage homes, I feel. I don't know, maybe that's not true, but I feel like what they should do is spend more and get this. You see, that's kind of what we concluded in my other videos. They should spend more, and people are getting screwed over, all right? And yeah, what do I have here? I had maybe one more I had one more example or something. I don't know. I can't remember what it was. All right. So yeah, I mean, I'm sort of reviewing some of the points I made in those last videos, but I thought basically, you know, people have to. You got to take care of yourself, and that involves your listing to your home, and when you're selling your home, you got to take care of yourself. You got to get in there yourself. You got to do things yourself. You got to understand things yourself. And if you don't have a brokerage that's going to do something like this for you, maybe you got to get in there and try and really understand it if you want to get top dollar anyway. And you have to, you know, sort of take control of yourself. You know, you'd have to sort of study stuff like this. And I know people don't have the time, but it's very possible, right? And, you know, another great one, we went over some examples of the car, you know, people that work on your car in the last videos and stuff, but like the vaccine right now, right? They're really pushing this vaccine. So this is everyday life. What the stuff I'm talking about? It's not just real estate. Everyday life. Should you just go out and run out and take that vaccine? Hell no, of course not. You should totally just assume that people don't have your best interest. That's, I think, the number one thing to do in life. You just assume, because what they're probably looking out for is their self, right? It's almost like a fact. They're looking out for themselves. So you have to really understand yourself if the vaccine is the best for you, right? You'd have to go out and research that and understand, should I give my 8-year-old this vaccine? You know, you'd have to understand that yourself. Nobody's going to do that for you. Somebody's going to tell you you should, and you're a bad person for not doing it or whatever, but you got to understand it yourself, okay? And that's the whole point we're going through with this. Like, I feel like I understand this and what's going on here. And look at the power it gives me, you know? I understand it. I understand that this just isn't, I mean, I can't do much with it. Maybe it's not very powerful, but I mean, I just feel like I have a glimpse into the real estate industry here that maybe most don't get. I mean, how is this prevailing? How is it? You tell me. If I'm correct, that's how you know you're onto something. If I'm correct, everything makes sense. Everything we see makes sense. We see like homes with holes in the walls and carpet. Look at the there was one with some carpet. Where is it? I want to find it. Look at the carpet. They tried to do something too. Wait, let me find the one. Let me find the one I wanted. There was one where the carpet just looked like it was like an undulating wave or something. Maybe it's that one. This one. But we sort of know that this existing just you know, as a marketable piece just doesn't make sense. All right, it just doesn't make sense. And just this whole aesthetic, nothing about it makes sense. Okay, so but if you apply everything I've said and that's the model, you know, you'd have to watch all those videos. Everything makes perfect sense. And that, I mean, come on, this makes perfect sense why we see this photo exactly like this. So, you know, am I wrong? Well, I maybe could be wrong, maybe could be partly right or 80% right, and maybe the other 20% I don't understand, but I would say I'm a high degree of certainty myself. I think I'm correct about all this. All right. So interesting. I tried to end it last time on this topic. Maybe I'll end it this time, not sure. But thanks for tuning in. See you for the next one.